It is great to return back to GateWay Community College, where I started my educational journey. I am flattered to be the first speaker in this beautiful auditorium and the state-of-the-art structure. Although I was warned that something may go wrong and this will be the first time that they deal with it, so no stress, no stress. Congratulations to everyone involved in the design and the construction of this beautiful building. Today I am here to share my personal story and how it all began at GateWay Community College. The place that shaped me, gave me confidence, and launched my career trajectory. The place that made a difference. I was 19 when I started at GateWay, and face full of pimples and shy as can be. And I couldn't think of a better place to start my educational journey. Yes, you all make a difference every day, and I'm convinced that there are many Elias Provencio-Vasquez stories out there, very similar to mine, where GateWay faculty, advisors, and staff shaped the destiny of many students here in the Phoenix community. I credit my educational experience at GateWay College as laying the foundation in my career and certainly in my life. As John mentioned, my first degree was an Associate of Arts degree in mental health in 1975. They couldn't get rid of me, so then I kept going and got another Associate of Arts degree in 1978, so I stayed here for quite a while. I then entered the workforce as a unit clerk at Maricopa County Hospital. These experiences, the education and working in the hospital, ignited my desire to continue my education and to dedicate myself to the nursing profession. When I returned to GateWay to pursue my nursing degree, there were only 3 males in the nursing program. I was the only Hispanic. And I was talking to Margie last night at dinner, and she certainly mentioned to me that that has changed, which is a great thing, that more males are pursuing nursing as a degree. My Make a Difference story touches on themes that include land of opportunity, outlier, tipping point, break glass ceiling, move the needle, and pay it forward. I want to take a pause right now and just share with you some personal thoughts and feelings. I'll tell you, when I was asked to give this keynote to launch not only the new school year, but also your campaign, this beautiful new building, the growth in not only your faculty, but also in your student body, I was very humbled and very touched. And it took about 2 months to really put together my stories. And it really helped me look back and take a pause in my life that I think is so busy. I sometimes think I make that busyness, and I really need to be careful about that. But to take a pause and really look at where I started and the people that really influenced my career and my education, the good and the bad, the great opportunities and the barriers that I faced as a male nurse back in the late 70s. So this was really a bittersweet experience for me, remembering all the people that touched my life and all the opportunities that I had. So I thank GateWay for giving me a moment in my life where I took a pause and really appreciated where I came from and my successes to date. My parents arrived in Texas from Mexico looking for a better place to establish a life and raise a family. 7 children followed, and the family relocated to Phoenix, where better job opportunities existed for my father, who was a construction worker. And I'll tell you, I credit him for pushing me to go to college only because on Saturdays he would take me to work with him in the hot sun of Phoenix, Arizona. And my job was to put bricks on the scaffold while he built homes or buildings. And I think I cried more than I put bricks on the scaffold. And I was 10 then, and I was like a crybaby. I cried, and so finally he stopped taking me, and I think that really made me appreciate that I needed to get an education because I certainly didn't want to work out in the hot sun. Although education was very important to my family, financial challenges were part of everyday living. None of my siblings were able to attend college after high school because getting a job and making money had a greater reward than the long-term gratification of a college degree. Just like many of your students now. Matter of fact, I had no one from my family and/or circle of friends that I could turn to for support and educational guidance. I was an outlier among my family and friends. What made a difference to me was that I learned very quickly while attending GateWay that education was very, very powerful. Instead of complaining about the social injustice, you went to college to make a difference. More importantly, no one could take your education away. Back when I enrolled in GateWay, there were very few Hispanic students. There was very little diversity in the student body and faculty. There were no role models that looked like me. Therefore, I went looking for mentors that would help, and more importantly, that believed in me. Prior to finding my role models and mentors, I was challenged and driven off course. Moreover, I was also looking for guidance and struggling with grades. At best, I was a C student. I was looking for a mentor that would make a difference. Intuitively, I knew that in order to be successful, I needed to surround myself with a whole new set of friends, friends who embraced education, friends with a passion for learning, just like I had. GateWay was the perfect environment to connect with students that shared the same vision, even though it was downtown in the old building there and not this beautiful campus now. Tipping point. The tipping point is a point where a minor change turns into major and irreversible one. My tipping point at GateWay Community College was when I was mentored and influenced by 3 powerful and dynamic faculty members. Very powerful women. And by the way, I think it's important for me to mention here that all of my mentors throughout my career have been women. How great is that? My 3 mentors here at GateWay that during dinner last night I found out that they're still connected to GateWay. They're retired, but they still have a connection and a commitment to GateWay. So I was very pleased to hear that because these 3 women truly, truly influenced my decision to continue my education, my decision to be the best nurse that I could be, and I thank them for that, and I hope that I can one day personally thank them because they really made a difference, just like you do with your students. Miss Baker was a middle-aged woman. By the way, she was probably only 40, and when you're 19, you think 40 is middle age, right? She probably was 40. Her expertise was maternal child nursing. She was extremely positive and always made learning fun. And if you know Miss Baker, she is one positive, spirited woman. Because she believed in me and always encouraged me to work hard, she had a major influence in my personal decision to choose maternal child nursing as my specialty area that I focused my clinical practice and my program of research. I have published over 40 papers on women at risk because of Miss Baker, because she directed me and she influenced me to pick maternal child nursing as my expertise area. Miss Burley was tough as nails for those of you who know her. She instilled quality of care and patient safety to nursing students during our clinical rotations. Although I was struggling in her didactic class, which I almost failed, she recognized my strong efforts in the clinical arena. She saw me how I interacted with the patients, and that impressed her. She took a personal interest in me. She pulled me aside and engaged me to take ownership of my own destiny. Miss Burley made a huge difference. I may have failed her class and dropped out of nursing school if it wasn't for her encouragement. And that is truly, truly a fact. Miss Collins, which is also known as Betty Custard, I was so afraid of her, I forgot her last name, but at least I started it with a C, right? Miss Betty Custard was a diva, way ahead of her times. Remember, this was in the 70s and the word diva wasn't invented yet, but she was truly a diva. She was a petite woman with much class and sophistication. She sported the latest fashion and exuded confidence. She taught us critical care nursing, but most importantly, the value of self-worth and being comfortable in your own skin. She also taught us that respect was earned, not given. She encouraged me not to settle for an Associate of Arts degree, but to further my education towards a Bachelor's in Science in Nursing and a Master's. Because of Miss Collins, Miss Custard, I embraced lifelong learning. The metaphor glass ceiling refers to the seen yet unreachable barrier that keeps minorities and women from rising to the upper rungs of the corporate ladder, regardless of their qualifications or achievements. Initially, the term applied to barriers that careers of women, but quickly extended to refer to the obstacles hindering the advancement of minority men as well as women. Although I faced many obstacles in my double minority, a Hispanic male in the nursing profession, I overcame these challenges because of my strong work ethic and passion for learning. The passion for learning that I experienced here at GateWay was truly life-changing. As a new graduate nurse, I demonstrated my leadership skills by going above and beyond the call of duty every day. I was a patient advocate. I worked well with others. I volunteered for overtime when needed. And I was very meticulous about making sure that I completed all of my responsibilities. It wasn't long before I was offered the nursing house supervisor position for the entire hospital at Good Samaritan Medical Center, which is now called Banner Health, I think. The leadership skills I learned and the confidence I developed here at GateWay gave me the courage to take the leadership positions offered to me. Other responsibilities followed, but with every new position, I took ownership and I demonstrated the willingness to excel and to be the very best. Within a year of being a house supervisor, I was approached by the director of the neonatal intensive care unit to consider an advanced practice nursing degree. I was to care for the sickest and the most fragile premature babies. Within a short time, I was part of the air-evac transport team. I'm sure you've seen the helicopters fly above you. And from there on, doors kept opening. As Oprah Winfrey says, not that I watch Oprah, there is no such thing as luck. And I truly believe that. It's what you do with the opportunities that are presented to you. I ran with every opportunity that was given to me. My pursuit for higher education, followed by job opportunities, took me away from my family in Phoenix. As my career trajectory grew, it required me to relocate to 6 major cities throughout the United States, working in major medical centers and universities. This journey further fueled my passion to transition from a clinician to an educator and researcher and to an administrator and leader. As a clinician, I worked hard to achieve one of the highest leadership positions in the nursing profession. In 2000, I was the president of the American Academy of Nurse Practitioners. I traveled the United States and was a champion for advanced practice nurses and promoting the important role that nurse practitioners play in the healthcare of Americans. As an educator, I worked endlessly to achieve the highest recognition in the nursing profession, to be inducted as a fellow in the American Academy of Nursing. Out of 3 million nurses in the United States, only 1,800 belong to this elite group. It is truly the Hall of Fame for nursing. And it all started here at GateWay. As a researcher, I focused on women at risk, working diligently by creating interventions that promote safe and healthy environments for mothers and their children. At the University of Texas in Houston, we created a home intervention for women with substance abuse disorders and their children. At Rutgers and University of Maryland, we focused on a family drug court program that empowered women going through rehab to regain custody of their children and to improve their parenting skills. Ms. Baker's written all over that. At the University of Miami, I worked with El Centro team to promote culturally tailored interventions to minimize health disparities among Hispanic populations. And I continue this research agenda at UTEP. As a principal investigator of the Hispanic Health Disparities Research Center in El Paso, I lead a $7 million center focusing on minimizing health disparities in Hispanic communities. As an administrator, the Dean of the School of Nursing at UTEP, I now focus on improving my leadership skills. As John mentioned, in 2009, I competed for a prestigious Robert Wood Johnson Leadership Fellowship program and was fortunate to be selected. I continue to develop my skills as an administrator and as an executive in academia. This drive for education and career advancement all began at GateWay. It was the incredible experiences and the great people I met here. My hard work was then followed by rewards, making my lifelong career journey an exceptional experience. And if I at least touch one of your hearts and your passion, that you do make a difference, then I will be one happy man when I leave here. At this point in my career, my major focus is to pay it forward. Mentoring and coaching students, faculty, and nurse leaders is part of my routine. I just want to share with you some examples of how I mentor the next generation of students and of community leaders. Mariel is a young Mexican-American student at UTEP that shows tremendous potential. She is a business major but works at the University of Texas El Paso School of Nursing. Her work ethic is incredible and her motivation is impressive. I provide her with learning opportunities within the School of Nursing that help her gain practical business experience. Suha is a PhD Lebanese nursing student who I taught while I was at the University of Miami. She is an extremely bright student with great interpersonal skills and drive. She shows tremendous potential to become an exceptional scientist. Although we live 2,000 miles apart, I continue to mentor her in her program of research. Kenneth is a fast-track student that just graduated in May, who wants to be a healthcare administrator someday. Although he just graduated with his bachelor's in nursing, he immediately enrolled in our graduate program to focus on healthcare administration. He shows great potential as a future healthcare leader, and I am confident that someday he will be a chief nursing officer of a hospital in El Paso, Texas. I was truly honored when he asked me to be his mentor. I truly believe that the highest compliment a faculty member can receive is from their students. With these three students, what these three students share in common is a passion for learning, a strong work ethic, and a desire to be successful. These are the characteristics I developed at GateWay Community College, and I hope to provide these students with the same mentoring opportunities that I received while attending GateWay. This is what Pay It Forward is all about, and I'm sure all of you pay it forward every day. We all need to pave the way and provide the next generation the skill set, but most importantly, the confidence to be successful in whatever they choose in their career. Don't ever forget the impact that you make every day when you come in contact with a GateWay student. Let's all go make a difference. Thank you.